The Windows Surface 3 tablets are being issued to all of our full-time and part-time benefits eligible, as well as some PTOCs. When we first started this project, myself and the other two training specialists, George and Kat Stout, really reached out to our instructors, and we tried to get a better understanding on all of the issues that they were having. And we came up with a solid troubleshooting list of all those issues. Now, the biggest issue that our instructors seem to be having is accessing the VPN and having slow or no internet connection. Now, in this project, we've determined that the VPN input from instructors throughout our territories allows upper management to see who's logging in, and it allows updates to be sent through their tablets. Now, throughout the presentation, you'll see this icon, and that simply gives you a link to a YouTube channel where George posted all of our videos. Some of you, or probably all of you now, are now using the Red Cross Microsoft Surface 3 tablets, using the power cord, the adjustable case, and the tablet itself. And just as a quick glimpse, we took a couple of pictures of it and posted that as well. Now, the case itself has a 5-point position stance that you can use when delivering the course. Now, we know as instructors, they're not always sitting down in front of the tablet itself, so angles come into play when using that screen. So using the 5 positions, it really optimizes the view for the instructors. All right,
when I first realized that you could adjust the stand, I thought I had broken the case. So I was really happy when later on I figured out, oh, wow, this is supposed to make this weird snapping sound to adjust.
Yeah, and when I mean, unfortunately with me, I thought it was either open or shut, but there are more positions available, which again does play into effect and helps the instructors out with those angles. So with that said, there are a video that shows George, I believe, walking you through those 5 positions. Now, the VGA dongle is used to hook up the Microsoft Surface 3 tablet to the Optima projector. Now, that VGA dongle, the video is located at the bottom, and it can be a tricky situation when you're first going into learning this process. I know from experience, one of my instructors, they were actually very unfamiliar with technology. We're really introducing them to technology, and she still wanted to use the DVD player as trying to input it into the projector. We all know that the projector itself does not have a DVD player, and we will be using the first aid presentation when delivering these courses. So by hooking up the projector to your tablet, that'll allow you to seamlessly use that first aid presentation in all your first aid courses, whether it be out on the full service side or in the community channels. And the first picture listed is of that VGA dongle.
Yeah, and another point of emphasis for this project, and one of the other points of emphasis that Jonathan really wanted us to drive home, was the fact that they're supposed to be using what we assign to them. You know, if we have an instructor saying, oh, well, I don't want to use the tablet, I want to use a DVD player with the projector. Really, the whole idea of us making this investment was so that they would learn to use the equipment that was assigned to it, so that they are using the projector, that they are using the tablet for their work.
Now, one of the things that popped up through working on this project was the extra bulbs that came separately from your projectors. We reached out to Kathy, and it is Kathy's wish that logistics should hold on to all of the extra bulbs, and instructors should not be carrying around the extra bulbs with them to these classes. We know that these extra bulbs can be costly, and we know that our instructors may not be the most delicate people in the world, so it is our wish that all bulbs be held by our logistics people, and when a bulb burns out, whether it be from a full-time instructor or down to a PTOC, they can just place that order with logistics, and that could be sent to them immediately.
With the projector and the tablet, Jeff is the one who did the demo for this. He did a great job going step by step on how to connect it, how to make sure that it is working properly, so that video link is there.
And for an example of classroom settings, I went out and took pictures right after one of my instructors taught a community course, and they had it set up really in kind of a classroom 2 setting if you're going out from the instructor manual. And that allows participants to be able to practice while you watch while still fully utilizing the tablet with the projector and the Bluetooth speakers. So we just decided to take a quick example and post that to hopefully give some instructors some good ideas. The Bluetooth speakers, they are a really wonderful situation to have when having full service classes. The Bluetooth speakers sync up quite easily, and I demonstrated through the YouTube link at the bottom. And for full service classes, it's always best to rely on your own equipment, as other equipment is definitely not really the smartest way to go because we can't rely on other people's equipment. When instructors have their own equipment, they become familiar with it, and setup and breakdown time becomes a much more quicker process.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that Jeff was able to do this demo, because some of us, for me, I actually don't have these Bluetooth speakers handy, and probably maybe there are some training specialists on the calls that maybe haven't seen the Bluetooth speakers, so we wanted to make sure that you guys saw it and at the very least had something to provide to the instructors so that they could follow it step by step.
Right. Unfortunately, I'm here in a building where I constantly see all of our classroom settings, and I can see the equipment come in and out on a daily basis. I had in my own little world, I had no idea where Florida, where George is. He may not see the equipment on a daily basis, and I believe, George, you told me you haven't even seen what the projectors were to look like?
Yeah, I hadn't seen what the new projectors look like that were being assigned to the instructors. I had seen it for the first time in your video.
Now, the 3-port USB Ethernet dongle is, I feel personally, one of the most valuable pieces of equipment that comes along with your tablet. We all know in our chapter building, whether it be on the community side or at a full service opportunity, Wi-Fi may not always be the strongest solution. And we want all of our course records to be delivered on a timely basis. So if you have access to an Ethernet cable, you can attach the USB Ethernet dongle to your tablet, and then hook your tablet right up through the hardwire through that Ethernet cable. The USB port also allows for extra devices such as Bluetooth, such as the USB mouse, even potentially a USB remote for any presentation. So this is it's extremely helpful for all instructors. They really just need to get down and get using it, and then they'll become fully comfortable with that equipment.
And as a side note, this was also especially helpful when instructors were telling me that they couldn't connect to VPN initially. It was because the internet was too slow. So the VPN needs a certain speed of internet in order to actually connect. So as soon as they connected to an Ethernet cable, they found that they were actually having a successful connection to VPN, whereas the Wi-Fi was just way too slow for that. So that's another troubleshooting tip for the instructors.
And yeah, whether it be through Wi-Fi or through the Ethernet cable, if all else fails, it is important too to stress that there is the option of turning on RTE. So if that all else fails, we can still use that, but it has to be closely monitored. And then finally, the Deluxe Kit Backpack. We received multiple reports in my territory that it all can't fit in the Deluxe Backpack. I just wanted to post a photo and put this on the presentation that it is possible to fit all the equipment that you need in the Deluxe Kit Backpack. It was tested before. It was tested again. Picture of that backpack, it has everything from the instructor manual to the Red Cross tablet, the projector, and speakers. I was even able to throw in, I think, 2 extra extension cords and a couple other miscellaneous items as well. So it is possible. Don't let your instructors tell you otherwise.
I'm going to cover a little bit about logging in and the technical side of using the tablet itself. When we're talking to instructors, a lot of times they get confused because there's different kinds of logins that we're going to be having them do. We have the Windows login for logging into the tablet. We have the VPN login that we're going to be talking about. And then at times we may be referring to the Wi-Fi login. So I want to make sure that we all understand the differences when we're having these discussions with the instructors. So you have here in this picture, you see the Windows login once they turn on the tablet. Basically, when they click on the icon with a smaller character that's over on the right side, that's considered the Windows login. So they're just going to be putting their username and password there. And that's different from the VPN login. The VPN login, we all know, is seen through the little Cisco ball. Again, that's the software that provides the VPN for the tablets. Basically, the VPN is what kind of makes it seem like they're in Red Cross office, but they're not really in the Red Cross office. And also, it triggers IT to know that their tablet is in use. And also, as long as they're connected to VPN, they can get the pushes for updates and fixes, and also they can receive emails through Outlook Desktop. So I know that personally for me, if I'm not getting emails through Outlook, it generally means that I'm not connected to VPN. So if an instructor is telling you that their desktop Outlook is not receiving emails, you can let them know, hey, you got to connect to VPN so that way the email push will work. What we normally have instructors do when it's their first time logging in is that we have them first log into VPN and then log into Windows. What we consider a regular login is probably what you all do right now, and what I do is first we log into Windows and then we go down to the Cisco ball and then log into VPN. So if you have an instructor that is telling you that they have a new tablet or they changed their password and they're having trouble logging into the tablet itself, then they're going to have to first log into VPN and then log into Windows. And we have both of those videos. So the first video up here, you'll see the link that says first time login to VPN and Windows 8.1. Again, that can be used also if they change their password and they have to have their tablet reset their username and password. So you can use those instructions for both. And then the second one is just a regular login, logging into Windows first and then connecting to VPN. And the next slide here is about Wi-Fi. So we know that Cisco also provides the Wi-Fi connection. I know that some of the instructors try to connect to Wi-Fi using the Windows Wi-Fi manager, but a lot of times that won't work. They really need to use the Cisco client in order to connect to Wi-Fi. Sometimes the instructors will say, well, I don't see any networks. Well, it could be because it's disabled. So there's a little menu there where they can re-enable the Wi-Fi or disable the Wi-Fi using the Cisco client. Also, the video link that we provided before also shows on the video how to enable and disable the Wi-Fi. Jeff did a pretty good job of demoing this. He went ahead and opened the properties inside of the Cisco AnyConnect manager so that he could declutter the Wi-Fi connections. So sometimes if, say, you're an instructor that will visit different chapters, or obviously if you do a lot of full services and connect to different Wi-Fi connections, all of those Wi-Fi connections, or what we refer to them as profiles, those Wi-Fi profiles start to add up and start to clutter up the Wi-Fi manager in Cisco. So you can actually go in and delete those Wi-Fi profiles so that way it allows for a smoother connection. And this could be true also for us as training specialists if we're visiting different chapters or going to different offices. Your internet may start slowing down because your Wi-Fi manager is cluttered.
Yes, George, I've noticed a big difference from the changes from just decluttering all of the Wi-Fi networks that I've been on in the past to just the ones that I constantly go to now between New Jersey and New York. As soon as I turn my tablet on and log in, it really connects right away now.
Awesome. So yeah, because it doesn't have to search through all the different profiles to find the one that you need to use. So that's great. And some of our instructors have told us that they're having trouble viewing the screen from the actual tablet display, because I know that some of us as training specialists, we have an external display, but our instructors typically, if they're traveling around doing classes, they have to depend on the tablet display. So we actually walk the instructors in this video through the process of personalizing their display and increasing the size of the screen. Just keep in mind that they do have to restart the tablet when they do change any of the display size settings. So if they want like a bigger font on the screen, bigger icons, they do have to do a system restart. Now this I can appreciate because if there's something that an instructor is having trouble with, and no matter how much coaching I've done over the phone, they're telling me, oh, well, I don't see that, or my tablet doesn't do that. All of the tablets are pre-equipped with Skype for Business, which we already use in the office, but we can go ahead and ask them to go into Skype for Business and have them share the screen. So if you can walk them through sharing their screen, we can point out, hey, look, this is what you have to do, or this is how you finish your addendum, or this is how you download your roster. This has been really helpful. And these are some other tasks that instructors should be doing with their tablet: downloading the rosters, we know, completing the roster in Adobe. Sometimes the instructors will inform us, hey, I can't print the roster. Well, with the tablet, if you have it, there's really no need to print it because you can just download it and fill it out within the tablet. So we walk the instructor through that in that video. Closing the classes in Saba and also doing their expense reports. We also have some bullet points down here. Obviously, checking email. They could use the Outlook desktop client. If there's a walk-in registration, and instead of having them call the Training Support Center, they can actually use the tablet to go into redcross.org and enroll for a class if it's not a blended learning course. And then, of course, completing their time cards they could do from the tablet as well. Here's another snapshot of the completing the roster section. So they can use the Adobe on the tablet to add grades. You see there for add text is the option for that. And they can also use the Adobe product to place a signature. And we do have the backup option to say, for example, there's a tablet malfunction. You can have them go to workplace.redcross.org and they can use the virtual desktop from there. So if they've been saving their files within the OneDrive for Business, then they'll be able to access all of that through the virtual desktop. Basically, the virtual desktop looks just like your tablet desktop. You could just access it from any other device. Other malfunctions include sound issues, or maybe you have an instructor that's telling you that, hey, no matter what I do, my tablet screen doesn't turn on, or my tablet froze. If that's the case, then we're going to have to force a restart. So to guide your instructor to force a restart, just have them press and hold the power button for 30 whole seconds. Because some of them will long press the button and then nothing will happen because they're not holding it for a full 30 seconds. So they'll notice that the screen will flash a little bit, and then that's when they'll be able to see the tablet reboot. And of course, you want your instructors to have this phone number handy, the IT service desk, which is 888-778-7762. So if they're having any issues that they can't find a resource for, the IT service desk can support them. Maybe you're wondering where all these videos are that we keep referring to in this presentation. It's in a playlist on YouTube. So it's youtube.com/PHSS videos for instructors. And that's it for the presentation. Now we can just open the floor for questions if there are any questions.
In the meantime, I did send this presentation out to all the instructors that have tablets in my area, just to get, just to gauge a reaction to see how helpful it was, and to get all of their input. And from the input that I have received, it is all positive news so far. A lot of our instructors who really haven't been kind of blessed with all of this type of technology, it's a learning process for them, and we understand that. But this presentation seemed to be very helpful for a lot of the instructors, and I've really received nothing but good things. And in the meantime, if you send this presentation out, or when you send this presentation out to all of the instructors in your territories, any feedback that you receive, please forward it to George and myself. We would love to hear feedback, because this is probably going to be an ongoing thing here with the Red Cross. So any input is definitely welcome.
Got a question. This is Phil. I heard you say at the beginning you were recording this. Are we going to be able to access that later, or how are we going to access this? And by the way, great job, guys. This is very helpful. I know some of my instructors are going to really benefit here from this. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm recording this presentation in case there's a training specialist that missed it. So I will post it on YouTube so that way they can see how we reviewed the different videos and the resources out there. This YouTube channel that you see on the screen is open for anybody to view. So if you visit it now, you'll see all of the videos that we discussed on there.
Hey, George, this is Mary. I really like it. Could we, because people come and go, could we possibly put on the instructor SharePoint site either YouTube videos or some folder that would have this link so that there's always a connection, since we want our instructors to use SharePoint. If they're new and that information doesn't get handed down to them, then it's condensed in that place also where they could find it. Would that be possible?
Sure. I think that each territory has their own SharePoint, or at least that's my understanding. So if you want to just put a folder in there, that says YouTube, because all they really need is the link, and all the videos are available there. So if you just want to put, just want to create a PDF that says YouTube channel link, and then when they open the PDF, that's all they see on there, then that could be a helpful way to get them directed to there if they ever need that resource.
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea for everyone, because we want them to use that site, and this is such great information. Then we know that it's always going to be found as transitions or new instructors come on board.
In fact, if you want, once we share this presentation out to you guys, you could just take this slide and have it be that, just put that slide in the in your folder, in your territory folder. I'm going to be posting this as soon as the WebEx system processes this. I'll post this presentation in YouTube. But like I said, visit this YouTube channel now. You'll see the playlist there if you want to start sharing this information with your instructors. But I'm done.